Shalom, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing none other than the brows. I know I always do my tutorials with my brows already done, but some of you guys were interested in how I get them done, so I'm going to be sharing you my tips and tricks on how to get these Leena brows. Let's get into the video. My eyebrows change as much as the weather. Sometimes they're too thin, sometimes they're too short, sometimes they're thick with two C's, and they're a lot of work. But I have made a routine, I have made a formula on how to get the best eyebrows. So let's do this. Our first part is doing the foundation, which I've already done. The next step is to do the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This is so we can define the brow. So you're going to be using this to create an arch, define the lower part of the brow, and create a tail with this. So we are gonna brush the brow hairs down first. This is so you can see where your natural brow arch is. So mine is right here. So I'm gonna very light-handedly sketch it out. You're gonna drag this to the tail, and I like my tail longer than normal. You can do it as long as you want. Okay, so after that, you're gonna move your brows up now. So using a spoolie, put your brows up, nice and high, up to Jesus. And just like before, very light-handedly. You do not want these to be cartoon eyebrows, girl. No, you don't. So I think that's pretty good. It's usually, ooh, they're a little straighter than usual. Redoing the top portion, going over it just so it's a little bit more rounded out. So after I have created the arch and defined the lower part of the brow, I'm gonna fill it in. For this, I use a completely different type of tool. I use my Iconic London brow cushion, and I use an angled brush. This is so I can give nice hair-like strokes. I'm gonna be using the darker portion for this part, lighter portion for fake hair up here. Also, I think the contrasting colors will give it a more realistic looking brow, unlike a cartoon brow. So this is my secret weapon. This is how I trick all of you. I just make little fake hairs with the lighter color. And I connect it right at the bottom, but just barely. So from far away, it looks like my normal eyebrow, you see? Not bad. But we're not done.
It's so hard to see when they're even.
Because they're not.
It's rudeness. Rudeness with tude. The worst kind of rude. It's like ASMR. Like when I see my eyebrow connect, I'm like, ooh. I thought ASMR was porn when I first heard about it. Like, not gonna lie. I thought it was like food porn. And that's how, like, I thought about it. I was like, oh my god, people are like getting off to like people eating food. It's not that. Something completely different, but like, that's pretty terrifying when you first hear about it, you know? I was more scared when I found out that it wasn't food porn, than it was just like people liking to hear people eat like crunchy pickles. Like, that's more terrifying to me. Like, don't put this in. No.
You don't get off the crunchy pickles.
I don't. Do you? I also told my dad that it was food porn. So now he's like, you watching your food porn? Weirdest conversation to have with your father ever. If I were to watch a type of food porn though, it would definitely be like people blowing bubble gum. Like, that sounds very satisfying. Where did we go off? We were talking about brows for a second. Moving on.
So I'm using the spoolie now, and this is to soften out my little fake hairs. Give it a more natural look. Also, does anyone have like an eyebrow disaster story? I feel like we all have one. Like mine was in the 2nd grade, and someone told me I had too bushy of brows. Never. But I believed them, and I literally cut half my eyebrow off right before the talent show. For 2 months, I had half a brow in 2nd grade. Never again. If you have an eyebrow disaster story, please leave it down in the comments below. I would love to suffer with you. All right, and if you thought we were done, we're not. Next up is the eyebrow gel. This is what I think really ties it all in together. We are again raising these hairs to Jesus. You're like, Leena, what are you doing, sweetheart? You look kind of stupid.
Just you wait. Is something wrong? Making them into good little eyebrow humans. You give them a nice home, balanced meals, and then you put them down. Oh no! That's like a sad dog story. No! You laid them to bed! Oh God! So now that we have them all standing up to attention, they look even more natural than before, and I'll have you thinking that I grew them myself. Last but not least, we are gonna be cutting these brows because, you know, sometimes I get a little too excited. I put a brow here and a little bit too much there. Gotta cut it. We're gonna be using this Makeup Revolution concealer. Patting it down. And conceal. It's like no mistakes were made. Not that like I ever mess up. Silly. Bam. There you have it. The Leena brow.
So this is how you get the Leena brow. Much better than a unibrow, but it is a lot of trial and error to get what I call the perfect brow. I thought you guys were interested in how I did my brows, so I'm glad we got to do this together. If you did enjoy how I did my brows, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.